Hello friends, and welcome to Rice Making 101 with Roll This Way. Alright guys, so in your kit you were provided with this bag of dry rice, which of course we're going to have to cook, and this little bag of pre-seasoned rice vinegar. Now, in order to cook this properly, here at Roll This Way, we like to use a 1 to 1.5 ratio of rice to water. And in here, there are 2 cups of dry rice. So for each cup of dry rice, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of water. And since this is 2 cups, we are going to be adding 3 cups of water.
Okay, so let's pour the entire contents of the rice bag into a pot. And let's make sure that this pot is big enough to accommodate the rice once it grows to about twice the size of the way it is when dry. Alright, so as mentioned earlier, we're going to go ahead and pour 3 cups of cold water into this measuring cup. And then we pour the water into the pot. Okay, so now we've got our pot on the stove. Let's go ahead and put a lid on it, and we are going to crank that heat all the way up to high. Alright, so it's very important that we keep our eye on this thing, because as soon as it starts to boil, we're going to go and turn that heat all the way down to a very low simmer, and then we are going to replace that lid and continue to keep an eye on this thing all the way through. Now, after cooking for about 10 minutes, we are going to inspect the rice to make sure that all the water has been absorbed all the way down to the bottom. And once we are satisfied with that, then the rice is done cooking. Alright, it's time to transfer the rice out of the pot into a larger mixing vessel. An aluminum mixing bowl is ideal. And let's make sure that we get all of that good stuff out of that pot. And then we are going to be spreading that rice out into a nice, flat, even surface. Okay, it's time to season our rice. So let's take our pre-seasoned rice vinegar and drizzle it all over the top layer of the rice. And then we are going to be grabbing a spatula or a wooden spoon, and we're going to begin the technique, which we like to call the cut and flip. We're going to be cutting through the rice from side to side, and then we are flipping the rice. The reason we do it this way is because all of that rice vinegar gets trapped at the bottom of the bowl, saturating all of the rice at the bottom. So we want to flip it over and then start cutting it again. By cutting, of course, we are spreading out that rice vinegar evenly over every grain of rice. So we like to do the cut and flip about 4 to 5 times, maybe more, depends on how much rice you have. Of course, you can stop and taste the rice at any time if you need to. So we're gonna go ahead and cut and flip a few more times here. And then we are going to be flattening that rice out into a nice flat even layer, and we're going to give it a few minutes to rest. Alright, so after a few minutes of rest, we're going to go ahead and cut and flip a few more times, because some of that rice vinegar does accumulate at the bottom of the bowl. So we want to make sure that it is evenly spread out over every grain of rice. So cut and flip a few more times and give it another taste to make sure everything is coated. And just like that, your rice is ready to go. Now that our rice is fully cooked, seasoned, and ready to go, let's make sushi. And don't forget to take pictures of your creations, throw them up online, and tag us at Roll This Way Sushi.